decades, the University of Hawaii basketball program existed on the fringes of a national conversation. The Rainbow Warriors would occasionally produce talented teams and passionate crowds, but competing with the giants of college basketball felt more like a dream than a realistic goal. Today, that dream is becoming a reality. In just a few short years, head coach Jay Buck has transformed Hawaii from a struggling newcomer into one of the most fascinating stories in college basketball. What once seemed impossible is now unfolding before the eyes of the sport. Hawaii is preparing to compete for a Big East championship. Yes, that Big East. In the modern college basketball landscape, conference realignment has reshaped the sport. The newly repurposed Big East has become the premier conference in America, featuring a collection of blue blood programs and national powers. Schools like Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, Kansas, UCLA, and Connecticut battle nightly in what many consider the toughest league ever assembled. When Hawaii announced it was buying its way into the conference, critics laughed. Many believed the Rainbow Warriors would become little more than a travel destination for visiting teams. Few understood the vision that was taking shape behind the scenes. The move was made possible by a group of wealthy and influential Hawaii alumni who believed the university could become a national basketball brand. Business leaders, former athletes, and successful graduates pooled resources to help fund the transition into college basketball's toughest conference. At the same time, those same supporters committed substantial nil resources to help Hawaii compete in the modern recruiting landscape. It was a bold gamble, one that would require an equally bold coach, the Jay Buck gamble. When Hawaii began its coaching search, administrators were looking for someone who could think differently. They found Jay Buck. Buck was already considered a legend at the high school level. His private school powerhouse had become known nationally for its relentless pressure defense, fast-paced offense, and consistent winning. Year after year, Buck's teams overwhelmed opponents with depth, conditioning, and tempo. During the interview process, Buck impressed university officials with a detailed vision for how Hawaii could become a destination program. He argued that the university possessed advantages few schools could match: a world-famous location, passionate fan support, increasing nil opportunities, and the ability to offer recruits a truly unique college experience. Most importantly, he had a plan. The administration went all in. The growing pains. When Buck arrived in Honolulu, he inherited a roster built for a completely different style of basketball and a program that was unprepared for the nightly grind of the nation's toughest conference. The results were brutal. Buck's first season ended with a disappointing 2-20 record as Hawaii struggled to compete against elite competition. The roster lacked depth, athleticism, and experience, while players were simultaneously trying to learn an entirely new system built around relentless pressure and tempo. But behind the losses, a foundation was being laid. The improvement came quickly. In year 2, the Rainbow Warriors posted a surprising 14-10 record. Suddenly, Hawaii was no longer an easy win. Opponents found themselves exhausted by Buck's pressing style, and the Rainbow Warriors began stealing victories from programs that previously overlooked them. The following season, Hawaii took another significant step forward. The Rainbow Warriors finished 14-13 and earned an invitation to the National Invitation Tournament, giving the program its first real taste of postseason success. But they weren't satisfied. The following season, Hawaii exploded onto the national stage, finishing 25-5 and making an incredible run to the Elite Eight. That changed everything. Hawaii was no longer just a team hoping to make the postseason. They had become a legitimate national threat, and the success continued. The next season, the Warriors finished 23-6 and once again found themselves deep in March. This time, they battled their way to the Sweet 16, proving the Elite Eight run wasn't a fluke. Hawaii had arrived. Now, the Warriors enter a new season with a different mindset. The program has a culture. The recruiting has improved. The experience is there. And a new group of talented players has arrived to take Hawaii to another level.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Fadeaway JB. Welcome to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a legacy on College Hoops 2K8, and I'll be using the University of Hawaii. I am going to follow some dynasty rules. The first one are some recruiting rules. The recruiting rules are as follows. First things first, we're going to keep our island on lock. So anytime we have a Hawaii prospect who is 3 stars or higher, we must keep them or attempt to keep them. Must offer them a scholarship, and if they are Mr. Basketball and they are 3-star or higher, we are trying to snatch them up. We have a 1 world recruit rule per class. 1 is allowed. World recruits are easier to recruit in this game, so in order to keep it competitive and challenging, I will only allow myself to have 1 world recruit. 5-star rules. We will only be able to sign 2 5-stars per recruiting class. We also have transfers. The original game doesn't really have a lot of transfers on the PlayStation 2, but I have made this more of a challenge for me. So one of those things is a confidence transfer rule. Anytime a player has below 80% confidence at the end of the season, I must roll a die. If I roll a 1 or a 6, the player transfers. If I roll a 2 through 5, the player returns. So it's going to be important to keep their confidence high and use those player meetings when necessary. Also, we have a JUCO transfer rule. All JUCOs and incoming transfers, I must roll 1 die each offseason. JUCOs have already transferred into the university. They're more likely to transfer again. So if I ever roll a 1 for a JUCO player, then they must transfer. In addition, for recruiting, I will implement a JUCO rule that allows me to only have 2 junior college players per recruiting cycle. For transfers, walk-ons have a 2 out of 6 chance of transferring, or 33% chance at the end of every offseason. I will roll a die, and if I roll a 1 or a 6, the walk-on will transfer. I've also included an injury and life event system for realism. I will roll a die, and if I roll a 1, the player's durability will drop to 70. I'll only do that until 1 player's durability drops. If a player with reduced durability rolls another 1 in the future offseason, then they must be redshirted for the entire season due to a major injury. For player development, I have a scholarship player breakthrough rule. That rule will allow 1 scholarship player to receive a bonus each offseason. I'll roll for the players that I prefer first, and once a player is selected, then they will earn the scholarship player breakthrough. So for example, if I roll a 1 for my point guard, then I will roll a die again, and if I roll a 1, they will have plus 10 to their attribute points. If I roll a 3, it'll be plus 15, and if I roll a 5, it'll be plus 20. And I'm only allowed a maximum of 10 points in any one specific category. So if I were to roll a 5, I can't add 20 points to 3-point shot. 10 points is the most I can ever add. If I never roll a 1 for any player on my roster, no bonus is awarded. For my walk-ons, since they're an increased chance of transferring, they will develop at a rapid pace. For every walk-on that I keep on my roster, I will roll a die, and if I roll a 1, they'll get plus 10 points. If I roll a 3, plus 15, and a 5, plus 20. Once again, maximum 10 points in any one category. I will also have some scheduling rules. This includes attempting to schedule teams from states that are represented on the roster. If I have a player that is committed to Hawaii and they're from Texas, I will try to schedule a Texas school that is not in my conference to represent that player. I'll also have a former player rule. If a player transfers away from Hawaii due to the rolling of the die, I will attempt to schedule his new school whenever possible. This will create a natural rivalry and revenge game storylines. I will have some restrictions in my dynasty. I am not allowed to simulate or force wins, force losses. I cannot restart games, and no gameplay exploits. The recruiting success must remain realistic. I plan on playing all the games in their totality. The ultimate goal of this legacy is to build Hawaii into a sustainable national power and navigate the challenges of the Big East, the new NIL era, recruiting battles, transfers, injuries, and roster turnover. Given the new NIL era in college sports, I wanted to create NIL rules for my legacy. So the annual NIL budget for my team is $10 million. I took this number from the average estimated NIL budget for the top 25 programs in college basketball. I do have some postseason bonus incentives. If my team makes it to the Sweet 16, the $10 million goes up to 10.5. If they make it to the Elite 8, it goes up to 11. Final Four, it goes up to 12 million. And National Champions, it goes up to 13. So the maximum annual budget for my NIL will be $13 million. I do have some recruiting restrictions. As mentioned previously, only 2 high school 5-star recruits per class, 1 international recruit per class, and 2 JUCO players per class. If there is a Hawaii Mr. Basketball prospect rated 3 or higher, Hawaii must offer a scholarship, and I do get a hometown discount for Hawaii players, as they will go 1 scale below the normal NIL amount for their rating. Here is the NIL scale for different players that I may recruit. For 5-star recruits, the number 1 overall player will get $4 million. If they're in the top 10, they'll get $3 million. Top 25 5 stars, $2.5 million. And 5 stars who are ranked 26 through 50, $1.5 million. For 4-star recruits, if they are between 50 and 75, they will receive $1 million. And if they are between 76 and 100, they will get $500,000. For 3-star high school recruits, any 3-star gets $200,000, and anyone 2-star or under gets 0. For JUCOs, any 5-star gets $1 million, 4-star gets $500,000, 3-star gets $150,000, 2 stars get 0. Remember, I can only keep 2 JUCO players per season. The reason the JUCOs are so much cheaper than the high school recruits is because they are at an increased chance of transferring. For world recruits, a top 10 5-star is worth $2.5 million. A 5-star outside of the top 10 is worth $1.5 million. And a 4-star of any ranking is worth $250,000. 3-star world recruits will receive $100,000, and anyone below a 3-star will receive nothing. A dynasty rule. If Hawaii goes to 3 straight Final Fours, The following season will face a dynasty penalty to make it more challenging. I will lose $1 million from my annual budget, and one player with an 85% or below confidence rating must go into the transfer roll of dice for the portal. Remember, it was 80% or under before. It is now 85% if we go to 3 straight Final Fours. I look forward to the challenge that this legacy should present. Watch out for future videos where players will be introduced and updates will be given on the season.